right, welcome back to the Man Cave. I'm your host, Black Irish. Hope everyone's having a good weekend and getting ready for the work week. That just sounds like a whole bunch of fun. So I'll at least be entertaining you while you're slaying it out there and making that green. So let's talk to some women who are living with a little remorse and regret.
It's kind of a long story. I'll try and see if I can fit it in 60 seconds.
Well, you're a woman, so I don't think you will, but please try.
So we met in our early 20s. We got married at 27, and we did not have the connection and the chemistry that we should have.
What does that mean? Did you stick with him? I don't say, why would you get married to someone you don't have any chemistry? But please continue.
That makes sense.
It doesn't.
Like the bedroom.
Oh, now I get it now. His meat wasn't doing it for you. Got it.
And I married the nice guy, and he married the hot girl. And,
Wow. Please, you're going to have to explain this one.
we were best friends. Got along so well. We did not fight. We got along so well. But after 14 years together, 12 years married, that lack of chemistry and connection became a huge hole in our marriage. And we filled it with other people.
Please tell me that your direction was not to get friends outside the marriage. Please tell me that's not what it was. You got the pussy hat, hoodie on, and everything. Oh my God! Please tell me these. I have a feeling it is, but whatever.
So it was just, our marriage had run its course, and we had our kids together, and that's awesome. And he's happily remarried, and that's great. And I'm happy for him.
You don't sound happy,
my
but
divorce post is not rare. Yeah. So did I know before I got married? Of course I did. I was 27 when I got married. I was 26 when I got engaged. You think you know everything in your 20s. And everyone had told me my entire life, passion fades, passion fades, passion fades. So I took that as you didn't need it. If it fades, why do you even need it? Better off to marry the nice guy, right? I had dated all the douchebags in my 20s and had my heart broken. So I was like, I'm going to go with the nice guy. And to be perfectly honest, he'd been a nerd in high school. He'd never gotten the pretty girls. And I think he married me because I was beautiful. I am beautiful, you know?
Okay. So I'm going to be this guy. The fact that you had to go off, and this is why women can't grade themselves. You have short hair. Let's start off with that. It's pretty much gray. That's not platinum blonde. Guys will stick their pee-pee inside of a lot of things. That doesn't make you pretty. That's like when a woman goes on and says, I'm attractive. I can get any man I want. They're all in my DMs. No, their pee-pees are in the DMs. And they're waiting to get inside your JJ. Dicka in your vagina. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it because TikTok will complain and, the hell they do things. But anyway. Oh my God. Like, I can tell you that she listened to a woman. Some woman told her some dumb crap. She went along with it and followed through. Oh yeah, he was a nerd. You see, I want you to understand, women see men as one of two things. You're the top 10% of guys, the bottom 10% of guys, and then the 80% only exists when all their resources have been burnt out. That's a fact. You know this. I know this. Everyone knows this. And then you marry the nice guy because you're just like, oh, well, I got hit by all the douchebags who you knew were douchebags. Let me try out with this guy. So he chose me because he was a nerd and because of this and that and the third. Okay.
And we were best friends.
Yeah, anytime any woman keeps saying best friends, that means you're not best friends as far as marriage is concerned, because you don't have a best friend. You have a husband and wife. Women like saying, I want him to be a best friend. No, you don't, because best friends, if they're guys, will tell you the truth, and you don't like the truth.
Best friends. And that carried us along for a long time until it didn't. All right, here's a little story. Fellas, pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention. You have that lesbian haircut, and you have tattoos. You're damaged goods. Let's just say that right now.
So I don't just do hair. I actually own a salon. And one of my other stylists has a
So let me see if I get this straight. You just decided that was a great idea for your hairstyle? Ouch.
client, and every time she comes in to get her hair done, which isn't all the time, but it's often enough, her husband gets there hours before her to drop off a box of chocolates for her. This man leaves his home, goes to the chocolate store, which is 2 doors down, buys this woman a box of chocolates, and drops him off at the salon. So when his wife gets there, her stylist presents her with a box of chocolates, and she gets her hair done. Now, I don't need you to be exclusive with me, but I'm looking for that level of commitment. I'm looking for a man who's going to bring me chocolates to my hair appointment. Or
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You pissed away that one. The guys that would do that, like the guys that would do that for you, at least in your prime, those were the guys that were invisible to you. You didn't see them. You didn't care to know them. They didn't exist to you. Those guys do it. The other ones, the douchebags that you said that you chose, those guys don't have to do all that crap. See, the problem is you're old. So now you're sitting here saying all that stuff that I got turned down by, well, that's what I want. The honest truth is this. You're not going to get it. You're just not going to get it. You're just, sorry. You pissed away all that because you decided to waste your youth on slinging meat on some heartthrobs. There you go. You're not getting candy. The best I got for you is a toilet overflowing and turds floating in it. That's all you're going to get. You're too old for anyone to be swooping up your feet. You may break a hip.
coffee. Don't stay for the kids. That's like one of the number one things I'm seeing in my comments. I'm staying for the children. I'm staying for the children. Part of the reason I left was because of the children. I get it. I get it. Thinking about having your children only half the time is nauseating, right? It makes you sick to your stomach to think about. But I didn't want to set the example for my children that lukewarm was what marriage looked like.
So what you're saying is get out while you can, regardless of what it does to the children or your family, because you made piss poor decisions. Then you got upset because the bedroom stuff wasn't to your protect. So after that, you decided to say, you know what, let's try to have some fun with some other people. And it backfired, and the guy found someone who actually likes him. You reproduced with him with a best friend, but not a husband, but a best friend. And then you want to say, well, you know what? I'm doing this for me, not the kids. And then you made some lame excuse for why you justified your actions. Please. Women, this is why I say women are selfish. They care about themselves. And for anyone saying women or care about children more than men do, I don't see a bunch of men going to a clinic trying to abort kids.
And if you don't have a healthy marriage, your kids will know. And then they'll think that's what marriage is. And then they'll get into a marriage and think, well, this is like my parents. Would you tell your children to stay in a marriage?
Well, smart people will tell their children to pick their mates correctly, not abandon the kids when at the last minute when things get too hot, or in your case wasn't hot enough, but was hot enough for the next girl. What I'm saying is, people don't take marriage seriously anymore. They don't take it seriously. All we do is see with marriage is that, oh, it's just this thing you can do, and when you don't want to do it, you can just leave. That's the mindset of people nowadays. You don't even care. You want the title of marriage, but you don't want the responsibility that comes with it.
That didn't fulfill them? Always just trying to keep it real, but...
Is she like literally aging per video? Like, what the hell?
I'm not the lady who cries on TikTok, but sometimes being a single mom is hard. Because you don't have anybody else to rely on.
You left. You left. You decided to leave. Whose fault is that? That's right. Oh, that's right. It's the men's fault. Sorry.
Except for yourself.
And so my hot water heater went out, and I now have to miss my youngest son's flag football game, which I only get to go to every other week because I work on the weekends that I don't have them. And now I have to miss it because I have to stay home for a damn hot water heater to be installed.
Mind you, she's talking about how she doesn't go crying on TikTok, but she purposely puts sad music just to. Y'all women are pathetic, I'm telling you. All this, you know, it's not about the kid. It's about yourself because you're alone, and you're old, and you're miserable. You got nobody with justice and liberty for no one.
And it's just super frustrating at times because I'm the only adult in the house, and so now I have to leave him and go do that. And it's just, sometimes it's just hard to not have anybody to rely on. And yes, while I have a boyfriend, he doesn't know my kids. They're not involved, and so he can't be at my house. He can't help. It's just me. It's just me. And sometimes it's hard. And that's real.
That's because he's just here to smash. He's not trying to get to know your kids. Your kids had someone for them to get to know, and you decided to pick the wrong guy because everyone else that you went through, who ran through you, basically was done using you because you got old. You expired. So then you tried this dude who you wouldn't give the time of day because you even claimed to say he was a nerd and talked about his lack of performance in the bedroom. Thank you for not at least saying his name. I don't know if you did any more videos, but thank you for at least not putting him on blast. But don't try to play victim. First you said I can't do this because of the kids, then try to walk it back to make it seem like you weren't like taking it out on your children, which a lot of you do. And then you want to complain about all the other stuff, and then you're just like, oh, my water heater broke. Well, if you married a man, maybe if you married the man the first time, maybe something would have been better. Maybe he would be able to fix it himself, and you wouldn't be able to go to the game to see your son play. But now you got to sit it back and wait just like a man does so something gets fixed because you got to miss out on so much. You know, all that things that men do that women like you don't even appreciate. You weren't happy, so you got someone else. But then the someone else worked better with your husband, and there you go. The story wrote itself. And in each video we watch, you age one day at a time. You're like Benjamin Buttons. Except it just keeps getting old, and that's about it. You're just old. All right, I think we got one more video. Done ranting.
Okay, this video is going to be more of like a rant and just like probably a little bit TMI, but
Damn, everyone's ranting.
my divorce girlies are going to know what I'm talking about. So when I was married for 13 years, and I like 100% supported my ex-husband in like the startup of his business. Like I created his LLC. I did all of these things. I pushed him to go to his taxidermy school. I made sure that he had a business. I picked the start date. I made the Facebook page. I did all of the things for him. And in the background, I was building my own business and working full time. Fast forward several years later, and we decided to get a divorce. Things just didn't work out. The why doesn't matter, but what...
Stop. Put it down, spit it all out. No, you're leaving out this story. No, I don't believe that. See, once someone says the whys doesn't matter, that means that something you did matter. Nobody says that unless you did something wrong. You did something wrong, honey. What did you do? And listen to how she talks about, oh, I did this for him. I did this for him. Narcissists do that. They talk about how great they did for everyone else and how it's TikTok. So you know that when someone talks like this, they're going to talk like to the people that they can relate with. That's why she's at her divorcees. And she ain't talking about men. She's talking about women. So they can all be in the same bubble. Say, girl, I went through the same thing. I did this, and this, and this. I did all that. I kept receipts and everything and blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Does matter, and what I'm really struggling with right now, and I'm sure that I'm not alone, is that I was the breadwinner, right? He was a small business owner, so tax returns, write-offs, all the things. And I worked full-time, W-2, making over 6 figures a year. So when it came down to time for our divorce, even though the reasons of the divorce were not my fault fully, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm just as much to be held accountable for the divorce as him.
There you go. Try to have a little bit of accountability. She literally was like, it's difficult for women to just say, yeah, I did these things that were wrong. They have to make it 50-50. When a woman goes out here, she's never going to be completely honest with you and tell you, yeah, I screwed up here, without saying, but I know that he did these things. Because a man can do that. Most men can do that. But women, it's the most difficult thing in the world just to say, yeah, I messed up, because it makes them feel bad. They have to add someone else in it. Just like when a child, if a child's doing great, they don't have to mention the man at all. And you can watch videos where they never mention the man. When something goes wrong, somehow this father you never wanted to talk about comes out of nowhere. It's like magic.
Anyways, because I made the majority of the money on paper, I was required to take all of the debt in my divorce or pay him alimony or child support.
There you go.
And quite frankly, you got me f***ed up. Because ain't no mother f***ing. So I willingly took all of the debt. And 100...
Baby, you don't have a choice. That's what men have to go through. When you make more, you have to. And I think that's another reason why a lot of women who want to get married do that. They don't want someone that makes more. They want someone that makes more than them. So I think that's another reason. So they don't have to really worry about paying the man back. And they try to slander him. Like, oh, well, that's not what men do. Yeah, this man does. I'm getting paid. You don't like the fact that you're a breadwinner and it blew up in your face. You did something stupid, and that's why you don't want to talk about it. Otherwise, you'd have just said it. Because if he did something completely wrong, you would have absolutely zero problem bringing it up.
Percent am supposed to pay for all of the kids' activities and all of the things, which I do. And like literally everybody in my life told me not to do that. And I thought, it's fine, I've got it, I'll be able to handle it. Everything's fine. I'm going to be able to do it. And here we are, like 2 years out, and I'm literally f***ing drowning. I quit my job to take my business full-time last year, and it was really not, I didn't really want to quit. I really wasn't financially ready to quit, but I had missed so much work because my oldest son had, been hospitalized for his mental health a couple times, and then my daughter with her diabetes, and I was a sales commission job, so my customer service score was dropping. So it was like a mutually agreeable, like, okay, we're going to see you later type deal with my full-time job.
Nobody cares about your problems. Get to the point of where you basically had to do what men do. And don't go on TikTok to complain about it. Except to warn men not to get married. Oh, do you understand? Do you women understand now why men don't want to get married? Besides, a lot of you modern women are insufferable. The honest truth is, this is no benefit. And people were telling you not to get married because you made more money. Gee, I wonder why.
And I am just like, I'm f***ing drowning in debt. And like, I get calls every single day. Like, hey, you owe us this money, and hey, you owe us this money. And I'm like literally just trying to pay my rent. And I'm not asking for anything unless you like want to join my coaching programs. Like that would be great. But like I'm not asking for you to like Venmo me money. I'm venting because I'm so frustrated because it's like life's not fair, and I know that, and I'm not gonna like sit in victim mentality, but like it should not be this hard to live in this country. And I'm drowning, and I'm not the only one, and I gotta go to my daughter's basketball tournament. Okay, bye.
Oh, prayer is the last refuge of a scoundrel. See, the funny thing is how they don't ever see this through a man's eyes. See, a man can see things through a woman's eye. A man can go and protect the woman when she's crying. She can do many things to help her. But when it comes to what men want, it's like women are oblivious. You want to talk about your feelings as a woman? Oh, yeah, I'm here to listen to you. When a man wants to talk about his feelings, I got to make it about me. Tell me I'm lying. So she's coming out here complaining about the little debts that she has and she can't afford it and her bills are piling up. What do you think men are doing? When you get to have them, when you don't have to have jack squat, you can get the house for free. For free. And the man's got to get an apartment which he can barely pay for because you want to max him out in child support. Pay you alimony like we don't live in the 2000s and every woman can win and make a lot of money. But for some reason, you still got to pay alimony to a bunch of broke people with money. You know who the other people who are going through this? They're not the ones you're talking about. The men, those aren't the ones you're talking about. The men are the ones who are going through this every single day. You women are just now realizing that effinism was a lie. Getting a boss babe didn't make any sense. And you didn't know who to pick. And that was your problem. I'm not sure if I missed it, but I'm pretty sure you asked for the divorce. And when you got the divorce, you weren't expecting the fact that you had to pay out. Yes, that's what happens. We're now living in equality. You hit, they hit. You want money, they get money. Simple as that. So you make more money, he gets more money. He gets money from you. It's a beautiful thing. So now what's going to start happening very slowly is you're going to see a whole bunch of women rescind being boss babes. And I don't want to be a boss babe. And I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Who cares what you want? The fact of the matter is you had your chance and you blew it. But it makes me feel good when I see women who try to walk away from marriage and pick the worst guy or the guy they don't even feel comfortable with, and then it blows up in their face. Well, maybe next time you do a better job picking a mate. And this is why I'd say, unfortunately, it doesn't pay to be a good guy. Have a good night.